Hey everybody, I'm Dan. Let's get right to it. Hope Force International is a charitable relief organization that was started in 2003. They have a wonderful 10-point ultimate guide, an ultimate hurricane guide. So we're going through that ultimate guide for hurricanes. We're on Chapter 7, Financial Preparedness. And I think you're going to really want to listen to this episode because there is a lot of good information here from Hope Force International. They talk about making sure that you're taken care of because sometimes financially people tend to overlook this sort of thing when prepping for hurricanes. It's not all about battening down the hatches and protecting your car. You want to protect your finances as well. Because you have to remember, your home runs like a business. You bring money into the home, you spend money in the home, you take care of people, you're trying to run a profit in the business so you can retire over time, and it's basically like a business. Now, when a hurricane comes, it can destroy your home or seriously damage it. It could mess up a vehicle. You could get hurt. And all that costs money. And you could be in a real bad financial way if you can't get access to cash. So you want to take care of all these things ahead of time. Hope Force International talks about insurance coverage, checking on your policies, making sure you have the right insurance. And I'll say, make sure you don't overinsure. Some people make that mistake. They pay too much for insurance for coverage they don't need. Check your coverage. Work with your agents, whether it be flood insurance, whether it be personal insurance, liability insurance, umbrella insurance, auto insurance, whatever it is. Make sure you're properly protected for what you need, but don't go too crazy with it or else you can find yourself being insurance poor. Documentation. You want to keep an inventory of your stuff. You want to keep an inventory of your photographs, your stuff in your house, so that if you have a loss, you have some way of documenting what was in your house. You know, when I look around the garage, you can see behind me here, we keep this generator on our inventory. We've got stuff on the shelves here. We've got ladders and different things we use for our business. We document all that stuff, and we have it saved up in a cloud. We've got a copy off-site so that if we ever need it in an emergency, we can say to our insurance agents, hey, look, this is what we had, and this is how we're set up, and this is how we'd like to be reimbursed for a loss. Got to maintain an emergency fund. You always have to have a little cash set aside. It's just a smart thing to do in case you need it when you go out and your credit card or phone doesn't work if you use one of those pay-by-phone deals. But if after an emergency, usually when power is down, the point-of-sale terminals won't work. So you need to have cash, and you need to have it in small denominations. You don't want to run around with $50 and $100 bills trying to buy a $10 sandwich because they may not accept those large bills. So have 5s, 10s, and 20s on you. Have some singles. And have enough that you can safely take care of your family for a couple weeks if you have to evacuate, and that's all the cash you have. When we get into financial preparedness, again, I say it, review and thoroughly understand your insurance coverage. This is boring stuff. Nobody wants to hear this. Nobody wants to go through this stuff, but it makes a lot of sense. Hey, as you go through this, if you're getting some nuggets of wisdom here, please hit that like button. And please consider subscribing to our channel and definitely share it with your circle because you may find somebody who's interested in this material. If you don't want to subscribe, that's fine. We're looking for people who share our values, share our beliefs, and want to have hurricane preparation knowledge to make themselves better informed and to make themselves more capable in prepping for a storm and just handling the calamities of daily life, because sometimes daily life can throw things at you. So please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you. Documenting your possessions can be as simple as taking your phone and just taking a video and going room by room, opening drawers and talking about things. And insurance agents, they handle claims all the time. They know what to look for. So if they have somebody who's taken time and opened up drawers and said, I've got pants and shoes here, I've got 14 pairs of boots, I've got tools out in the garage, these are the wrenches, there's this, there's that. If you have a loss, it's easy for them to put together a claim. They're highly experienced in this. But it's up to all of us as homeowners, apartment dwellers, wherever we live, to document our possessions and be responsible for that so we can help the agents better help us after a claim or during a claim. Maintaining an emergency fund is important. Sometimes, as I mentioned in the beginning here, when we're talking about this Part 7 financial preparedness, sometimes it's easy to overlook that you may have to shell out tens of thousands of dollars after a hurricane for contractors, for damage control, dumpsters, whatever. You want to make sure you have some money put aside for that, especially if you live in a hurricane zone, a tornado-prone zone, wildfire zone, whatever. It's always good to be prepared. And with that, maintaining an emergency fund, you want to create a budget for disaster-related expenses. You might have to rent a vehicle. You might have to pick up some tarps and equipment. You may have to rent somebody's home for a while yours gets built back to shape. Or you might have to move altogether because you lost your home. So these are things you've got to think about. Secure important financial documents. You want to keep documents with you. As I said in the beginning, you run your home like a business. Have copies of your bank accounts. Have your passwords securely on you, and maybe we use a hot box. It's just a file folder, and we have it secured and sealed, and it contains information, and we take it with us. It's a go box. We can run our life and run our business anywhere we go with that thing because we have what we need. You just don't want anybody to get their hands on it. So you've got to treat this thing and safeguard it. Anyway, you want to take care of those documents. You want to make sure you have maybe the last 90 days, the last 3 months of your electric bill or phone bill. If you have to evacuate your area, you may need an ID to get back into your area, into your house, because sometimes the disasters are so bad, law enforcement says, hey, if you don't live here, you can't be here being a looky-loo looking around, and we don't want you possibly ripping stuff off. So prove to me that you live in that red house over there, and I'll let you in. Well, you can use an ID, a passport, you can use a utility bill, and if this stuff's recent, it really helps you out. You want to stay informed about financial assistance programs because sometimes disasters can be so bad you might need a hand. So you can check with FEMA, check with your local governments, and see if there are programs that are out in place. Many times disaster tents, etc., will be set up for this sort of thing. Sometimes you might need some financial counseling, and I'm glad that Hope Force International included that in Chapter 7 of their Ultimate Guide to Hurricanes. Sometimes you just get overwhelmed and you're not sure how to handle things, and you just need to learn how to manage your money. Or you might be new, you might be younger, and not really sure how to budget. Take care of that. Use that as part of your life education, and that'll help you to be able to better manage life's crises. You need to learn how to manage debt, they say in here, create budgets, and navigate financial hardships. Hey, life happens. We go through this stuff every day. But I just want you guys to be prepared. Again, if you got some value out of this video, you could stream this thing while you're working, while you go to work. You can stream it at work, depending on what you do. You can stream it if you're in the garage like I am. If you're working on something, you can learn a lot that way. Hey, if you're cooking or with the kids, we're making these videos easy for you so that you can just listen and pick up as much information as you can. You could listen to this 10-point program probably in a couple hours and pick up a lot of neat tips and then just move on with your day. Thank you very much for spending time with me. This is part of our Talk Wednesday series. We're going to come at you on another Wednesday with another video. For now, take care and be safe.